Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, luchacentral.com presents Straight Out of the Bodega with King Fat Boy Papo Esco.
From the wrestling world to the podcast world, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with your host,
the King Fat Boy Papo Esco.
Once again, it's Thursday, and you have arrived. Pulled up. Welcome to another edition of Straight Out of the Bodega. I am your master of ceremonies, the bully from the bodega, the lucha thug, the one-man lucha gang, El Rey Gordo himself, King Fat Boy Papo Esco. And as always, we're going to take you on this ride. A ride through the blocks, back alleys, and street corners of the bodega. We're going to give you everything you need that's pro wrestling and entertainment. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. So take a seat, pour up your favorite drink, and let's ride. It's Thursday, and welcome to another edition of Straight Out of the Bodega. I'm the King Fat Boy, man, and we got a good show today. We've got a lot of things to talk about, but I want to vent a little bit. You know, we're friends, we're family. Let me talk, let me vent a little bit, because there's a lot of things on my brain right now that I just got to get off my chest. First, I feel like it's Groundhog Day. I feel like one day repeats itself day after day after day. It's just, the pandemic got everybody on a roller coaster ride, man. I'm not the only one. Everybody has their up days. I have most of my up days. I try to stay positive, try to keep a good outlook on things. But then, just like everybody else, I got my down days. I start thinking about the virus and what it can actually do to me and my family if we had contracted it. Now, I know a couple of people that have tested positive for this virus, and just watching them go through the hell that they went through to try to even recover, and they haven't recovered yet, they're healthier than I am. So I kind of wonder what it's going to do to me if I get hit with it. I'm an open book, so if you guys don't know, I'll tell you now. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I'm the King Fat Boy, operative word fat. So, I'm not the healthiest dude. I like a greasy double cheeseburger a little bit more than the next. And for the virus, it's probably a problem. So I don't know sometimes if I get it, if I'm even going to come out of it, something to think about. So I try to stay as safe as possible. I try to social distance, and I try to wear my www.lucha-mask.com face cover, and I keep my hands washed and my clothes washed, and I try to stay as clean and sanitized as possible. But you never know, and it's those times where you get kind of down. And another thing is, a lot of us aren't wrestling. A lot of us haven't wrestled, workers, in 6 months, and for people on my level, the independent level, I don't know when or if we're even going to get to come back, the way we used to, and it's kind of frustrating. It makes you think. Should I even continue? Like, is waiting another 6 to 8 months before I can wrestle again even worth waiting for? Should I hang it up? Should I quit? Should the King Fat Boy Papo Esco just go back to being regular old Papo Esco and continue on with the things that I'm doing right now? Because, I'll be honest with you, man. I got a family. I got a job that I'm working while we're shut down, and I'm doing well, man. I don't even know if it's even worth it to come back. These are the things that I think. These are the things that go through my brain when I'm on my downward spiral. But I'm going to try to get back on track and get up, and just be positive and try to keep a good outlook. And hopefully, man, we can get back to it. I'm talking about wrestling. I'm talking about normal lifestyles. I know everybody likes to go to, some people like to go to nightclubs. Some people like to go to bars. Some people like to go to amusement parks, whatever, man. Hopefully we can get back to all that and we can all take a sigh of relief and say we got through it. But, until then, that's where we're at. So on a brighter note, if you were listening last week, you would know that I was on location at Pro Wrestling Revolution Training Academy in San Jose, California. Now, I am in the ring in some form. Not the way I want, which I was venting about a little while ago, but it is a close second. I'm doing a solo gym session at least twice a week. I'm in there rolling around, bumping around, working on my in-ring cardio, blowing myself up, getting my muscle memory back in order. And if for any other reason, then just to stay a little healthier, work on my respiratory system, build up my immune system. And exercise is going to do that. I'm not the only one. There are students that are enrolled at Pro Wrestling Revolution Training Academy that are able to participate as well. And honestly, kudos to Gabe and Shannon at the academy. They are doing everything they can to make sure we are in a safe, sterile, clean environment. They are abiding by and adhering to all the rules and regulations that are set forth by the county. And, they're treating our safety and our health in the highest priority. And I appreciate that. Just to give you an idea of what we do, we enter the building, you got to wear a face mask. You got to wear a face mask entering. You got to wear a face mask working out. You got to wear a face mask leaving. We do temperature checks, and the temperature checks are logged. And if everything's all good, then you're able to get in the ring. You get in the ring for about 30 or 40 minutes, and then after you're done, you have to clean every single thing that you've touched before you go out so that it can be prepared for the next person that comes in after you. We're wiping down the turnbuckle pads. We're wiping down the ropes. We're sweeping out the ring. We're disinfecting the ring with disinfectant spray. And then the last person of the night is taking a steam cleaner to the canvas. So, when we leave for the night and everything's all locked up, it is really a sterile environment and it's ready for the next round of sessions. So kudos to them, man. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have a couple of the students come on and just talk about this and kind of get their feedback on that. And, we can just talk shop about a couple things, wrestling in general and what their aspirations are. I think it'd be pretty fun. What do you guys think? I knew you'd like it. I think we're going to do that probably next week. Yeah. Anyway, on today's episode, we got part 2 of the Misterioso sit-down. He's going to pull up once again to finish the discussion, talk a little bit more about, his time in China, Dragon Gate, his time in New Japan, which is like his most recent thing, and we're talking about the pandemic, and we're getting into a lot more. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. We're going to get right into that. But before we do, we're going to take it on over to the golden voice, the first lady of the Lucha Central Podcast Network, Denise Salcedo and Lucha Central.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch your favorite shows each week, or when to try a new one. This past Sunday, Jerry Villagrana presented a Spanish episode of Photo Versus on the Lucha Central Facebook page, and he went mano a mano with Mexico's Black Terry Jr., looking at some of their favorite photos of mid-match lucha dives. Even if you don't speak Spanish, you are going to want to check out this video from this one and see some of the best lucha libre photography on the planet. Tune in Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern for more each week. This coming Sunday, Jerry will be joined by the photographer known as Speedy as they talk working their way from shooting the indies to the majors and some of their favorite photos of indie talent now in AEW. On Tuesdays, on Mass, Mats, and Mayhem, of course there will be Talk of Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 14, which you can go watch right now on Tubi.tv for free. But this week, there's also lots of ups and downs over AEW, Raw Underground, and the use of former Lucha Underground stars Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar, along with his Legado del Fantasma. Plus, Casey unboxes the new Mr. T WWE Elite figure and more. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. This Tuesday night, live on WrestleBossLive.com, Fabi Chulo is back to talk pro wrestling and MMA. First, cheerleader Melissa joins the show to talk working as Mariposa on Lucha Underground, being a women's wrestling trailblazer, and the state of women's wrestling today. Then Jiu-Jitsu black belt Richard Areola stops by to talk the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, the world's top grappling competition. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesday. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. This week, two-time AAA Cruiserweight and former AAA Mixed Tag Team Champion Alex Kozlov and AAA commentator Jose Manuel Guillen pull up seats at the table. Find the video version on Facebook Wednesday through Friday, and then on weekends, download the audio version in podcast form. Thursdays, it's straight out of the bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez. This week, it's part 2 with Los Angeles Misterioso as they talk the controversy surrounding his name, plus his international tours in Mexico and Japan. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring, from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. This week, both shows have news for you on the Lucha Brothers in AEW, the return of CMLL live action this past Friday night, Lucha Time's weekly series, what's next for AAA, and more. Catch up on the top stories of the entire week in Lucha Libre in just 90 minutes. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms. And please be sure to give a rating and review to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central Central. Have a great week.
To not just graduate high school, because I take it for granted, but if you don't mind telling everyone, I know it's something you don't, talk about very often, but I think it's something you should be very proud of. Can you tell us more about, your life after high school, scholastic wise?
Right. Yeah. So, just after high school, I was kind of like in a tough place because I already knew that, wrestling was what I wanted to do. But at the same time, coming from like immigrant parents, it was kind of difficult to just tell them like, hey, this is it for me. Like, I think this pathway is going to be better, because ever since I was young, they always kind of put that in my head, like college, university, college. So me knowing that I had the, intellectual to continue, because in high school I didn't really get bad grades. They could have been better, but at the same time, like, you have to remember I would do like these wrestling things, and obviously me being young and stuff. So it took me longer than 4 years, but yeah, I got it done. I have a degree in business management. But like I said, I don't.
Oh, nice!
Yeah,
Congratulations! Hell yeah!
I don't really like talking about that because I actually do like to separate.
No, but something like that, brother, you got to be out front about, because not only does that help you in life, but that also makes you a much smarter wrestler on the business side as well. When you started out as a kid who was taking a booking anywhere, now you're very smart about your bookings, and would leads you to other directions where you no longer can get questioned on who owns that name, because you've done your due diligence to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and like exactly what Gabe's saying. So the good thing I think that happened to that is like just kind of transitioning with the name wise was once we all agreed, like, all right, this is the kind of step we're going towards as me being Misterioso. That's why I even kind of like at that time I was already probably 18 or going to be 18. So I kind of did research and stuff, how to do all the legal stuff. Mm-hmm. And I wasted, like I said, the money to secure that nothing like what was being accused was going to happen to me, sort of thing.
Yep.
So the first thing I did was obviously the easiest thing, just talk to a lawyer, set up an agreement, because I knew this guy was coming. And then after that, yeah. And then after that, I even would like go to his office and say like, all right, well, this is like, what does this buy me, kind of stuff. And even just talking to the guy, to the lawyer, costs money, man. That's what a lot of people don't know.
Absolutely.
They don't pull back punches when it comes to their billing. So yeah, he's like, all right, well, I mean, what is it? And I had to explain to him what it was. Like, oh, it's a wrestling thing, you know. And he's like, all right, what are you going to do with it? Well, you know, I mean, I'm going to use it, you know, live events, probably television, hopefully, like, all this stuff. He's like, oh, it's going to, like, how much money do you have? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, you know, you don't want to, I don't know. At that point, I mean, I had a part-time job, but I thought it was like, does this mean this guy's going to charge me more? Like,
right.
Money I have? So I told him, like, oh, well, this. He's like, well, to be honest, this is how much it's going to cost you just to get everything in order. And I was like, damn. And at that point, I mean, I could afford it, but, like, you have that.
Was it worth it? The question was, is it worth it?
At this point, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, yes. But that moment when you sat in that chair?
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah. It's scary.
It's scary because it's a lot of money.
Because you went ahead and did the trademark, correct?
Right.
And if that shit don't work, then you spend all that money. You're out that money. You ain't getting that shit back.
Absolutely.
So
Trust me, I've gone through that many times, and those trademarks are scary.
Yeah, and what exactly? That's what I think people don't get that. Like, let's say I don't know, I want to trademark Gabe Ramirez. If for whatever reason there's already a Gabe Ramirez, your money doesn't come back.
Just ask Ultimo Panda. Trust me, we know.
your money doesn't come back, bro. No. So just putting you in my mindset, here's a guy that just finished, you know, or I think was barely going to finish high school, had a part-time job, but wasn't working more than like 24 hours. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm working minimum wage job, didn't really have a lot of money. So I was like, damn, this is like what I've been trying to save up. Like, what should I do, kind of stuff. And in my mindset, it's like, oh, it's going to be worth it because, you know, I'm going to be signed in 2-3 years. So this is really what this should be the backup plan or whatever the case is. And boom, I do it. And then, like you said, the business side of it now takes over, like little hurdles that you have to like overcome, you know, like proof of this, proof of that. Like this guy's demanding this guy's demanding that. Like not even focusing on the wrestling side of it, because to be honest, like the contract that I had even with my godfather, just to make sure everything was good, honestly doesn't really validate really much.
Correct.
The real contract is the contract that you have with the government.
Yep.
That's what matters most than anything. So obviously going to college, I knew more about that, and I was so grateful that I actually did it. But taking back to when I was like 18, I was super scared because I was like, that's a lot of money. You're talking about thousands of dollars for something that, you know, you don't even know if it's going to pay up. You know, I mean, you know, Papo, you know, Gabe, you know how much the shows draw and stuff. Like, how is someone going to pay you even that much if you're not even like an established star yet and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Taking a gamble on yourself. That's
absolutely
what you are. But thankfully, I mean, it cost a lot of money, but in that aspect, it was taken care of. And even in like the Mexico side of the aspect, it was taken care of, just kind of jumping a little bit ahead. But Gabe, I don't know if you remember, one of the things was like, oh, so how should we put you in Dragon Mania? Yeah.
So Papa, what happened there is I talked to Asai, and Asai says, who is he? I said, so-and-so. He goes, okay. He goes, do you know him? I said, yeah, I vouch for him. He's my friend. He works for me. Talented kid. I'm not asking for him in an event. Can you just get him on? He goes, for you, yes. Go ahead and call so-and-so. I don't want to disclose his name. So I called him, got him on, and here came the issues. Because at first it was a yes, and then here comes the phone call. Well, we're gonna call him Misterioso USA. I said, why are you gonna call him that for? Oh, because there's already a Misterioso in Mexico. I go, oh, here we go again. Like, we can't escape this. And I'm like, okay. And so then in order to make sure we were safe, I got a I got Misterioso's wrestling license, his actual official wrestling license from Mexico, signed by the commissioner, Fantasma, signed by him. And I get it. So I send a copy of that. I send a copy of his ID. Boom, he's good to go. And fast forward to the next issue, which you can take him into it.
Yeah, yeah. There shouldn't be no issue, right? Because
there shouldn't have been, exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't have been.
The thing that I think the problem was that I think they thought it was fake since it was like screenshots and stuff. So I'm here getting ready, and I'm already like I'm already ready to go and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already boots are on.
Keep in mind, Papo, he's at the Madison Square Garden.
So he's there.
Libre. Oh, he's there. He's getting
ready to go on.
Ready to go on. Yeah. And he goes, "Hey, bro, did you hear this?" And I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
So they come up to me and they're like, "Hey, do you have your Misterioso?" And I'm like, "Yeah. What's going on?" I'm super polite. I'm still polite. I'm not even saying anything. I'm like, "Yeah. What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, can we see your license?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And I had it with me because I already knew it was coming. So I showed it to them, and they're looking at it, like examining it, like if it's like fake. And I'm like,
"Yep,
what's going on?" I'm like,
"Yep."
I'm like, I remember it's like 3 guys, and the 3 guys are like looking at it. They're talking amongst themselves and stuff. And I tell them like, "Is there a problem?" They're like, "No." And you know what really saved me? This is no joke. What really saved me was that the majority of the guys in the back, at least the stars, kind of knew who I was. But the thing that saved me was that Volador actually came up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then from there, they kind of just backed off, and they kind of like said, "Oh, let me just get your number," type of stuff, and we'll talk about it after. Good match. And that was it. I mean, I put my stuff in my thing, made sure.
Yeah, until I called you at 2 a.m. Until I called him, I go, "Bro, answer your freaking phone." He's like, What? I go, "Look, dude, I got heat on me." For what? So I got a call. They wanted me to present myself the Monday morning at the commission's office.
But that was all. That was just them trying to get a squeeze of whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so
at that point they couldn't do anything.
No, exactly. And so I remember Asai-san says, "Gabo, come here," and I was like, "Oh, here we go." And here I get somebody booked, vouched under my name. I vouch. And now here the commission is asking for me to show my face and stuff. And so then Asai-san says, "Let me see the image." And I show it to him. He goes, "Oh, look who signed it." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "And why are they asking for you?" I said, "Honestly, same thing you said now." He goes, "I don't worry about it. You're good."
Yeah.
Never again did it come up. Ever.
Yeah. It didn't
ever.
It's funny because they wanted me to. When you said answer your phone, I answered. And they said, "Hey, how's it going? How's everything? How you feeling?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm good. What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, well, we just want you to." Like, "When you leaving?" I'm like, I think I gave them like a wrong date.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, okay. Can you come tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah. For what?" He's like, "Oh, we just want to talk to you and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, no problems." Like, "But about what?" He's like, "Oh, about this and that." I'm like, Cool. Do you want me to bring anyone or what? What's going on?" He's like, No. He's like, "Oh, just give me Roberto's number." And I gave him Roberto's number, and I think they did call him. But
yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was it though.
Yep.
They wanted to verify stuff, and maybe they wanted to see if like we were able to give them.
Hell no. I wouldn't have went, bro. Hey, you're in Mexico. Hey, bro, come on. We just want to talk to you for a second. All right, what do you want to talk about? Oh, I'll let you know when you get there. Should I bring anybody? No, come along.
You gotta remember.
I'm not ending up in the ditch.
You gotta remember Misterioso. You gotta remember that Papa watches a lot of novelas on Netflix.
Here we go, bro.
He didn't want to become Chisca or someone from El Dragón, the novela.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
The least intimidating guys you would ever meet. Like, these are like not intimidating guys, but at the same time you have to put yourself in that situation. Like, they never met you, they see you as a foreigner more than anything.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. So, that's basically.
So all right, so now you have the Misterioso name. All right, now you have minimal issues.
It only took an hour and 15 to get there, Papa.
It only took an hour and 15 to get there.
Well, Gabe talked like more than half of the podcast.
Well, you're the one that hung up and didn't want to say the truth.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So let's jump ahead a little bit and let's talk about, I mean, you started your stock started rising, man. You're wrestling in Mexico. You went over to China, and you ended up at New Japan, right? So just take me through this time. Your stock's rising. You're starting to gain ground, and you're going to all these places. How are you taking that in? How was the transition from, I mean, shit, there's levels of wrestling, right?
Right,
I
right.
mean, us guys starting out, and then, you start gaining ground, you start getting a little bit more, I don't want to say fame, but notoriety, we'll
Right.
say.
Yeah.
And, how did that build affect you, and how did it lead to, where you are now with New Japan?
Yeah. Well, it's bro. I wish it was a fast setup, but honestly, it wasn't. It
It's hurry
wasn't.
up and wait, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like you see, I mean, you see stories, all the time. Well, not all the time, but you see the big stories, right? Like Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero. That their careers kind of ascend almost right at the top. I don't know if everyone's a Rey Mysterio fan, but his mom gave him 1 year, and that 1 year he became a superstar when he became Rey Mysterio Jr. because his uncle was already kind of established, whatever. And from that, so in my opinion, it's like, oh, I got this name already. I mean, I still don't have the shape, I still don't have this, but I will have opportunities. And at first, just I guess all the heat or whatever it came, it was like a slow build, whatever it came. Thank God it kind of. I always didn't take the negativity of what people said, but I did keep it in mind. Before they would tell me, "Oh, it's too skinny," like he's just too skinny. So, all right, I'm too skinny. Let's not make that an excuse. So I started ways to see how to gain weight. I would actually seek advice from like pro wrestlers that had great shape.
You should just ask me. I told you what to do.
You were mad at that time still.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So yeah, so boom, that would happen. Obviously, being in shape is not an overnight thing, but there would be progression. After that came, it was just basically being the top guy of where I was at. So I was in LA, and that luckily happened. Thank God it happened. Like main eventing and any lucha LA card that happened. So boom, what was the next step? Okay, seeing like the next cities. So there was a time where like TJ was that actually helped me a lot too. Wrestling and TJ, I did that for like maybe 2 years, almost, not like every month or twice a month. The auditorium of TJ, maybe even not smaller areas, but like gyms that holded up like at least 2,000 people. I would mostly be on like classic lucha libre cards. Like the top people would be like El Hijo del Santo or like Nieblas and stuff, but like it wouldn't be like the Crash. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It would still fill up, man. It would be a big draw, and that kind of elevated me a little bit. Then from there, I kind of hit like a stalemate, and then luckily, I was already in talks with Shima-san. At that point, he was in Dragon Gate,
Right.
and I basically told him like, hey man, like what do you think I could do? And he made some things, and he set up my first tour for me. So I'm so grateful for that, for Dragon Gate. I think that was maybe 2017. So that was like 6 years after I debuted it. So yeah, 2017. I was still super young. I mean it's not.
How long was that tour for? And man, you always, Dragon Gate Japan, for us guys who don't speak a lick of Japanese, the language barrier had to be insane.
Right.
Were you working a lot of other luchadors out there, or were you just?
Man. So the only luchador in Dragon Gate at that time was Flamita. And I never was on tour with him. He would always be on like the July tours or whatever. I got in the end of year tour.
So were you doing the smaller tours and he was doing the larger ones, like the B and A's, or how was that working?
So no. So the biggest event they have, from what I know, it's like Kobe Festival.
Yeah.
It's in July.
Yeah.
And I think he would work onto that. And I would work on to like the beginning, the setup tour. So I would work on the Final Gate.
Got it.
Yeah. Final Gate, like Open Destiny. Like they would still be pay-per-views, but they were like kind of the beginning of the transition kind of thing before they would go to like holiday house shows kind of thing. So yeah, so I would do those. I did that, but mind you, I was still I think it was like my last year of college at that time. It was my last year, bro, and this is a true story. I'm never gonna forget this. So before I got the call from Shima-san, I actually had like maybe 2 more weeks, and then I had a final coming up. And when Shima-san actually got back to me, he gave me the dates, and the date I was supposed to leave was basically on finals.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, a college class is like 3-4 months. And then, like, I told the teacher, like, hey, like, emergency came up. You think I could take the final? She said no. And I was like, wow. And obviously, I wasn't going to go to Shima's and tell him, like, hey, man, like, I got finals. Is there a way, like, you could set it back for a week? I mean, he would have told me, like, I don't know what he would have told me. He probably wouldn't have understood, but you don't want to push it, especially being new and, getting an opportunity and whatever the case is. There's people that do this for a living, and you have to respect that, obviously. So I didn't even bring that to attention. So long story short, I actually didn't show up to the final, and I just went to the tour. So going to the tour for me was like so draining, because I knew I would have to, like, make up that class, pay tuition for next semester, pay the class. They check textbooks like every other semester, so probably buy the book again. It was just, bro, it was so crazy. So I went to the tour, and then when I came back, it was such a humbling experience. Because when you're doing it, like, kind of not fully, you kind of look at it like, oh, I'm good, like I'm keeping up with a lot of these guys at that point. I mean, I had wrestled probably every top guy from CML, and then you go over there, and they're not necessarily doing the craziest stuff, but just the conditioning, the timing, everything from the bottom guys to the top guys. It's like a different level kind of thing. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that,
It almost force you to step your game up? I mean, as far as like, working these guys, I've always talked about on this podcast, you always got to work guys better than you in order to get better yourself. Were you working guys out there that, conditioning wise, training wise, wrestling wise, it was on a different level. It was giving you a different, style of wrestling altogether. Do you think that made you better out there?
Yeah, that made me better out there. But what I got most out of it was that, like, how do I say? Like, you basically, I knew in my mind that I basically had to give up everything I was doing and pursue this in order to be where I want to be in this business. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's different when you're, like, waking up early, still going to the gym, but then going to class, or, like, going to a job and then getting out and then or going to, like, a wrestling ring, than to just wake up, do the weights, maybe watch your wrestling match, whatever, get in the ring, and then watch it again, and then do it again the next day. I feel like maybe there's people that have excelled under those situations, but I think, like, you either have to, like, kind of go big or go home, or just pursue this, like, as a job, as everything. And at that point, I basically made up my mind to finish school as soon as possible, save up money, quit my job, and then just go for it. Just go for it. And that was kind of the hardest thing for me, because like, obviously finishing school, and then at my job I had already, like, at my personal job I had already, like, established myself as like, not just a regular employee. So you're kind of, like, how do I say, like, taking that certainty, like, that job security, even that security of life, and kind of,
Oh, yeah, it's a huge risk.
yeah, and
it's a huge risk.
Starting over, and I mean, Gabe could say this. I mean, this business is so, like, how do I say it, not fair? Maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
absolutely. It's a very unforgiving business. It doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah,
and no matter how much you give back to it, sometimes you don't even get back a little of what you give into it.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to be very blessed to have the right people in our lives, our right circle,
right,
and take advantage of opportunities.
Right. Because, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, this business is not like, in basketball, you could probably be a dick, and you could probably, like have everything going against you. But if you can make a shot, you probably will get signed to a team, right? Like if you have like a good shot, or
Yeah.
you know, have the fundamentals to be a good player, regardless of whatever, someone's going to give you an opportunity. Right here, it's like completely opposite, because you could be a great wrestler and have everything going for you, but if you don't have that platform, or if you're not at somewhere at the right time, right location, like somebody else could get it, and then there's no room for you, or you know, you miss opportunity. I think this business is a lot with opportunity. I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone, but I feel like it's just a different kind of business. It obviously, I feel like it's not fair, but I mean that's life. So just coping with that is a lot to take in. So yeah, once that Dragon Gate tour, I go back to that just because that really opened my eyes to everything, because I saw like a lot of guys that probably didn't have, how do I say it, like didn't have the most talent, but you could see through their hard work of consistency that they got really, really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And that even made me more, that even like connected with me more on the next time I went to Dragon Gate, like the next year, because I would see like maybe the young boys or somebody that was like going in the lower matches now become a superstar, and their matches would be way better. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And if you're doing if you're keeping track, not more than a year has passed. So like I said, that those Dragon Gate tours are the ones that kind of humbled me, and they gave me a reason to, how do I say it, a reason to risk it all, or like go big or go home.
Yeah, absolutely. It gave you a taste of the big time.
Right. So I'm super blessed. Like I said, Shima-san was the one that helped me there. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the company. The second time I went, it was the CEO, Turo-san. So yep. I'm super grateful that they still had me on, because like you said, relationships are everything in our business, and that could have went so bad, but thankfully the company gave me another opportunity. And from there, I think from there, probably the next big thing was when they announced that New Japan was having a Los Angeles dojo again.
Yeah, and we had I had a couple people that I know, like Buddy Royal, Carl Fredericks. They went there in the beginning. One of the things that I was amazed by, not amazed by because you're not talented or anything like that, but just seeing these other guys go through it, is they went through the whole young boy process. Their whole, they had the black trunks and the black boots and everything like that. But you got to be Misterioso right away, right? So take me through the going to the dojo, getting the opportunity, and how you got to be Misterioso right away, rather than going through the process that guys like Carl Fredericks and such went through.
Right. Just to give you a quick fact, just before I forget, this is actually a funny, true story. I actually trained at the basically LA dojo, but it was a Santa Monica New Japan dojo.
Not the Dave Marquez one.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Dave Marquez's, but he was affiliated, with Simon Inoki was kind of running things. So, I still hadn't wrestled or anything. I was still training, but it's funny because, like, I thank that gym so much, because that gym was unbelievable. They had, like, this recent one is the same, but the only difference is for the previous one, they had I remember this is where I kind of got, I left my fear of doing all the crazy stuff, because they had a huge blue crash pad on my flips and stuff.
Yeah, you can see all the pictures. A lot of the like Bobby Quant and American Dragon, those guys, you always see that big crash pad in the ring. So if you were in the Santa Monica one, you were there with Sarah Del Rey, Bobby Quant, and all that.
That's the hilarious part, that at that point I was probably like 13, 14, 15 years old. So my point is, like, I was with them, but I didn't know who they were. Like, now that I remember, like, Shinsuke Nakamura was there, was there, Samoa Joe was there, Brad Daniel Bryan was
T.J.
there.
Perkins, Rocky
Oh, yeah.
Romero, Ricky
Yeah,
Reyes.
I mean they're technically still there, but I'm saying like all these guys had these run-ins. Alex Kozlov started there before even he went to CML, and then
Oh, yeah.
huge star. Machine Gun Anderson was like a young boy technically there under that system before he went to Japan and just blew off.
Fergal Devitt.
Yeah, Prince Devitt was there. Yeah, he actually. Yeah, that's so fun. Yeah, he was there as a young boy. Think of that, how crazy that is. He was there as a young boy, went to Japan, obviously did the Super Juniors, and then Bullet Club came, and then he got signed. But he was there before, like they even like, because they would do like the dojo tapings there in front of like maybe 5 people, 6 people.
Yeah, that's where they had China sing. Remember, China's rock band was on there.
Yeah, so it's funny now thinking about it, but it's so crazy how that catapulted so many people that are like basically still ruling. Finn Balor is still like a top person in WWE, NXT, whatever it is right now. But it's crazy. It's crazy. I wish I was, I guess, older and had the opportunity at that point. But going back to this New Japan dojo, so actually the thing is. Papo, just going back to the humbling experience. So once I came back from Dragon Gate, even though I was like established, probably even already main eventing like Pro Wrestling Revolution, I knew that I had to look for the opportunity. So what I was so I say that just because I actually paid and went to the New Japan training seminars they first did. It was 5 days. And it was crazy, and it's so crazy because a lot of it is basics, but when you're wrestling, you kind of forget to go back on the basics, and that's what kind of kills you. So it was tough. It was tough, but I got through that, and from that, I actually got noticed from Shibata-san. Shibata-san actually gave me permission, because I actually went to the first one, the original one, and then he gave me permission to keep coming back without obviously having to pay and stuff. So I actually kept going back, but unfortunately I got injured in 2018. And then I stopped attending the rest of the seminars, and I think that's when they made the Buddy Royal, Carl Frandrex, Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, young boys for the New Japan. So I was almost out for like 3-4 months. Thankfully, I kind of kept in touch a little bit, but I got notice of the New Japan tryout that they had. I believe it was in September, and from there they basically told me, yeah, well, I mean, come to the tryout, and from there I just luckily, I think it was more like a confirmation more than anything. Because Shibata-san just needed, because at the tryout, the booker and all the office people were there as well. So he kind of needed to show that there was, I guess, more prospects. So from there, that happened. And thankfully, I've been working with the company. I'm going to be honest, I'm not signed, but hopefully that's a home for me, because to me, even not just because I work for them, but to me, that's probably the best fit for me, I feel, just because of my style and just seeing the way the direction the other companies have. But yeah, man, I love New Japan. I love New Japan, and I'm thankful more than anything, like you said, that I came in there with my persona. I didn't have to change anything about it, and I'm just working towards the goal. And that's
Wow.
just to be established.
Wow, man, I got to say, man, this whole interview has been crazy to me, because I got a serious education in the inner workings of lucha when it comes to something as simple as a name. And
Well,
for
Gabe,
you to have to
here, like,
well, no, that's cool. No, this is the podcast. You know, we have this podcast for 2 reasons. One, you know, we want to get people on and we want to get their stories heard. But honestly, you know, we want to touch on the types of topics that, you know, you don't normally hear in traditional, you know, podcasts. So I love when Gabe, you know, uses his knowledge base and his experience to to bring up things like this.
Well,
But,
let me ask really quick.
yeah.
I know you're talking about New Japan, and I want to make sure we have enough time at least to touch on it. You guys just did some tapings just I think last week or a couple of weeks ago from the day we're filming now for New Japan's TV tapings, right?
Yes, the collision, right? Line.
Yeah.
Okay, so with
Yeah.
that being said, if you can't answer, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you. Well, kinda. But how is the process during this COVID situation? What exactly are you guys doing to be safe?
I thank you.
Are you willing to risk everything you work so hard? Are you throwing it out the window for an opportunity, or what is being done for your safety?
So honestly, I'm not, like I said, like again, I work for the company, so maybe I'm being biased, but I mean, they're kind of, maybe, I'm not gonna lie, they're probably not doing what like the UFC is doing, like testing every day and stuff, but they're making sure that it's safe as could be under the conditions. I'm gonna tell you why. So when I heard about when I got notice of that we were gonna do these the line spray collision thing, I basically got notice maybe like 2 weeks before it was gonna happen.
That's a long time. Normally, it's like 10 minutes, right?
No, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, like, you have to remember, like, 2 weeks, but the gyms were closed. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, body shape.
yeah, you've been sitting on the couch. I mean, you're trying to do these home workouts, but it wasn't happening. So I told him, like, hey man, like I know everything shut down, but like, what do you think what do you think could happen if I could, like, go to the dojo and stuff? Because the dojo was off limits because the staff works there as well. Like, that's headquarters for New Japan USA. So they said, yeah, let me get back to you. We'll get back to you, whatever. So point is, just to get in the dojo, we actually have to take a COVID test. So we took this COVID test just to get in the dojo, waited for the result, got cleared, got to train maybe like a week and some change, did another COVID test before the tapings. Once it was clear, we did the tapings. After that, we actually got to go back to the. I have to do another COVID test. So I took another. So basically, I'm on like my 5th or even 6th COVID test, and thankfully they're all been negative. And the only reason I'm saying it works is because if it wouldn't work, then when we were in there wrestling, somebody should have been positive, or I would have been positive as well, because we were all, wrestling with each other, and like the 3rd COVID test to get back into the dojo would have been positive. So, I mean, I don't think I'm the person to speak up on it, but we are getting tested. And I think they made a statement towards that too,
Yeah.
but I think a lot, because I know why you asked, because I've seen that a lot of people are trying to like dig into everyone, but we are getting tested.
Well, I mean, because we had Sam Adonis on here not too long ago, and he wrestled in Utah, no COVID test, no nothing. And for me, that drives me up a wall. Is why are we wrestling for the sake to say that we're still wrestling? If the proper measurements are not being done, I mean, look at Major League Baseball. They have more money than anyone, right? That we're talking about wrestling wise,
right?
And they have a breakout of 9 people on the Marlins who have a breakout. Now they have to pause. Canada doesn't want anyone from the USA to come play the Toronto Blue Jays, so they blocked out Toronto Blue Jays. So now Toronto has to go play in Baltimore somewhere.
Right.
We have to wake up at some point and take responsibility for our mistakes. And we should, I believe, at some point we just got to put things on pause, go restart, hit the restart button, recharge the batteries, because eventually I look at it now. Japan is moving forward with life, Vietnam, everyone has like moving forward, and Vietnam has 0 deaths, 0. And yet we had like 1,000 this week in California alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at some point, I do believe that we have to be held responsible for our own actions. And I get it, man. Wrestling's important, and every other sport. Everyone has their own value. Everybody wants to see something done. We all miss it, but we have to remember we got to consider that we don't live alone. And all this world has come to a complete halt and turned upside down. And it started with one person. It started with one person in China, and look at us now. We're all shut down. especially here in California, speaking for us, we've become the new hotbed for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And who knows when we're going to change and if the vaccine works or doesn't work, or God knows what's going to happen, right? But hopefully everyone is at least being safe, wearing masks, doing their best. And I pray, I'm not religious, but I hope that everyone is doing their part to be safe and you don't get sick and no one gets sick, because no one deserves to go through the process that this COVID is. And hopefully, nothing ever happens to anyone because of something they love for the wrong reason. So I'm glad that you're doing the right things and everyone's taking the right precautions. But even then, I myself, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, besides the COVID test, we had this. I'm probably getting in too much into it, but there was another agreement into it after that we had to be in quarantine kind of thing.
Right, for 2 to 14 days, right? Yeah.
Right. So like I said, New Japan. I feel New Japan is really professional.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's because the thing is, I'm not no one to talk on behalf of New Japan. But
no, of course, no. This is not an
it,
official statement.
Right.
Papo, make sure you say this is official. It's not an official statement.
No, yeah. I just don't want to get
no, because for example, AEW's been very upfront on their testing, and WWE, and God, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just asking questions because it concerns me, because if people aren't doing it, and spending, because it's expensive to do what New Japan is doing, and it's expensive, guys.
Right.
And each test is X amount of dollars, and then you have to get the test in a fast format, and so that's a lot of money. So people are being safe, but if you have the money to do it the right way, God bless you. But if you don't, why?
Yeah, and you have to remember that we're still doing it in a closed set.
Yep.
Everyone, including the people that set up the ring, including the cameraman, including everyone is getting tested. Obviously, it's there's always something that could be better. But like I said, luckily I've had 2 matches, and I've had tests before and after.
That's awesome.
Before and after, and they've been negative. And like I said, I don't really do that and put it online because.
You don't take a picture of your check from New Japan and go, look, I got paid. And
No,
it's Papo, because Papo did that when he was his WWE.
Whoa!
Papo
I did not do that, sir.
No.
No one knows. No one knows that I got paid by that company at all.
I didn't mean that as a thing.
Well, they know now, goddammit.
They be doing. I didn't even know what he's talking about WWE, but now I kind of make. But anyways, no, but I'm saying I wouldn't mind sending it to you guys personally, because obviously I know you guys in a personal level, but just putting that out there, it's a little bit. I don't know if you guys know, but the COVID test even have your address and personal information.
Yeah. Right.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I tell you what, though, he's legit on that, and I'll tell you a really quick story because he brings it up. We were in God, what was it? We did Arkansas night 1, and then we did Texas night 2. And remember, guys, you guys were all there. We were rushing out of Texas, and we had this one guy taking his time. We're like, come on, bro, we can't miss our flights, man. Come on. And so we're sitting there. I'm not going to say no names. And we're sitting there, and someone goes, hey, where'd David go? And I sat there. I go, I didn't answer. I didn't know they were talking to me.
Oh, I know.
And they go, hey. I go, what? They're all, don't fave me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, where'd David go? I was like, I have no freaking clue who you're talking about. He goes, come on, David. I was like, whatever, dude. I'm like, can you guys just come back with my Starbucks, or does someone have McDonald's? And they're like, why are you faving me? And I was like, what are you talking about? Who the fuck is David? And they're like, David. I go, dude, there's no David on this damn tour, man. What are you talking about? And then this person says, we know Misterioso. And I was like, what? And this person says, what are you talking about? I go, that's not his fucking name. I go, oh my God. I couldn't stop laughing. This guy fucking faved someone and told them he lived in Miami and his name was David. And this fucking guy went to a different part of the airport so no one would see his ass. And I could not stop laughing for the fucking life of me. Every time I see his name or whatever, we talk online, the name David pops up every single time. So good job, David, of keeping shit personal and private, but now put it on blast, so now everyone can call you David.
No, that story didn't need to be told. This guy,
Oh man, welcome to the podcast.
yeah.
So yo,
This guy,
man, you've been you've been on a wild ride, man. I mean, your story is tremendous in my opinion, man. I want to know now what are your aspirations next? What's next for Misterioso? I mean, I know you got New Japan now, but what are the aspirations and what are your goals going into this? We got to get back at some point. And right now you're still wrestling, and kudos to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely.
Doing all they can and doing everything that they need to do to stay true to the COVID requirements and stay as safe as possible. You said you're not signed. Is one of the goals to get signed there?
Nah.
Do you want to work for New Japan? Do you want to go elsewhere? What are your aspirations?
No, yeah, man. Honestly, I mean, I wish more than anything. Hopefully, let's not jinx it, that something comes out with New Japan permanently like that. But yeah, that's my goal. That's pretty much my goal. If it's I mean, everyone wants a home, especially right now that there's a lot of like platforms and stuff. I think, especially because of this whole pandemic thing, I think it's more important more than anything to have like stability, just at least because all the how do I say it? Like all the platforms that have like television and stuff, they're trying to find a way because they have contracts to meet and stuff.
Yep.
And that's also good because if the TV contracts are up, then that's more money, and that's more money for things like this, right? For like the COVID testing, to keep everyone safe. And on top of that, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that work just off being a wrestler, man. And that especially me trying to do that right now, it's tough. It's tough. If this didn't happen, I mean, I don't know, and I don't know what other options there are because I don't think no one's even hiring regular jobs either. So yeah, it's kind of in that boat where you kind of want to look for a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think the goal is still the same, even though this year's kind of crazy. Just make the best of it. I mean, thankfully, like I said, I'm so grateful for New Japan that their doors are open, training wise, and even help, even like giving an opportunity to do what I do in the platform. And like I said, just make a home there, and if not there, then hopefully anywhere. That's kind of been the goal now for the last year and so. And
well, you'll always have a home here with me, brother.
No, of course, Gabe. I know that, but
no matter what Papa says, brother, you will always have a home here with me.
And we'll see. It's still my house. We'll see.
The funny part is, like, the first thing I told Gabe when all this stuff happened, like, yo, how everyone take it? And he's like, oh, no, they took it fine. They took it fine. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because I know people, and I know, like, I know some wrestlers. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I know some wrestlers thought that, oh yeah, bro, we're gonna go to work next week.
Oh yeah. They still think that now.
You hear those rumblings.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
you hear those rumblings.
The government made this up, man, and this is crap. And
And in my head, I was like, damn, this guy. You don't want to argue with someone because there's no point. Oh well, there's no point.
I do.
Like, because it's wrong, and then what?
But the thing is, though, for me, it's not like a regular argument. I think if we prove them wrong, I think we're actually saving a life because not only are you saving one, you could save it, a whole shitload. No, but it's rough.
Yeah,
it's rough, man.
I don't have that patience, man. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Look, man, you sat in a hotel room floor in Texas with all of us when our hotel rooms weren't ready.
That story is
so if you have patience to do that, you have patience for anything, my brother.
You didn't say that story. Pablo, do you know about that story?
Papa was there.
Yeah.
I was there, bro.
No,
I
but
was there.
didn't you? Weren't you already good, Papa?
No.
Who was good already.
Blue Demon, that was it.
No.
Yeah.
Blue Demon was the only one, and then he left his room early. He had a booking the next day. He wasn't with us in Texas. He only did Arkansas. So after we got off our tour bus, we're like, "Oh, cool, we're gonna get our rooms." And the promoter didn't get him the night before. He got him the morning of. So your rooms won't be ready until 11:00. We're like, "What?" And we're there at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we're sleeping on couches and everything.
Hey, but we got a breakfast. We got a buffet. You can't complain.
No,
right?
I wasn't complaining. No, the funny part is that there was only like 2 or 3 people that were still like in good spirits, and everyone was dead. Everyone was dead.
Man,
even Gabe was getting mad at that point. He was mad, and the funny part is that
I think Gabe stays in a state of pissed off. So I like
no.
he wasn't getting mad. He was already there.
Well, I already had a problem the night before in Arkansas, so I was already pissed.
He was like already like not mad, but he was like I'm tired. It was in a long bus ride, but it was pretty long. But point is, like, we get there and then we're like, wait, what? What happened? And then at that point, I'm just laughing, right? I'm just like, what?
I'll never forget Octagon going, "Y mijo, y el pinche hotel?" And I'm like,
I'm laughing because
you gotta wait a little bit longer.
No, yeah, I'm laughing because I know whatever, like it's cool, but I know that these guys are gonna be like, whatever. It's
cool.
Bro,
they weren't saying shit as they were laying on the floor or the couch, but they were fucking sending me WhatsApp messages. Ese pinche cuarto, cabrón. I'm like, oh my god, you're making it seem like I had to open the room. You know what I mean? Like,
and this is the funniest part. The guy that I supposedly had heat with was the guy that was ribbing everyone. I was
Vaquero,
man,
dying.
Full circle.
That was hilarious because that was full circle. Because he was telling me like, look at this guy.
Funny.
He's about to die.
Wait, guys. Hey guys, I hate to do this, man, but we've reached the end.
No.
We got to say goodbye, man. We're about to get cut off.
All right, David, we got to go.
Misterioso, bro, thank you so much for being on the podcast, bro. We want to have you back at some point once we get back to it to catch up and see what you've been doing since then. But before we go, can you give us your social medias?
Yeah, man, it's at ITS Misterioso. It's Misterioso. That's it. Well, I have it for both like that. Yeah, ITS Misterioso.
KB Blue.
OSO.
Hey, bro, can you make one and just call it David?
This guy.
All right.
Gaby blew the spot.
Yeah,
why don't you go ahead and save it and give us your socials?
My socials would be at PW Revolution across the board for all social media platforms, and please make sure you go visit www.lucha-masks.com for your PPP COVID masks.
I need
lucha, and please go on there and check out Misterioso's masks. They're on fire. They sold out. They should be coming in back soon. They are fire. And please check out. They got Papo Esco on there. We got some Misterioso. We got Hijo del Santo. We got all those guys on there. And I'll give you guys a preview. We just reached an agreement with La Dinastía Muñoz coming on board with Lucha-Mass and also La Familia Real. So we continue to add more people, more masks. Next week we'll have El Rayo de Jalisco, and we'll keep adding more stuff.
Papa, why he always have El Santo and like Ray Phoenix on the top though, and they have us all the way like on page 6.
Hey, I just play my position, bro. I'm all good. I'm fine.
Dang. Look, man, because they don't know. They don't want to. I don't want them to get confused with which Misterioso they're getting, bro. So
he has me on page 6, and there's not even 6 pages. Like,
hey, you know what, bro? Here's the best part: you can be on page 0 and not get paid.
Dang.
You know,
hey, I think that's where I'm at right now.
Look at this guy.
I think my joint's been discontinued. So, all right, guys.
I gotta make a new one for you. But thank you so much, brother. I'm really proud of you. Thank you for coming. I hope I wasn't too hard or grilling you, but we gotta get everyone know what's going on with Lucha and the real. I appreciate your honesty, your humbleness. You've been a great asset to the company. You'll always have a home here no matter what happens. Thank you for coming on board. I love you to death, and I hope to see you sooner than later.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Gabe.
All right, y'all, man. On behalf of the podcast, Misterioso and Gabe Ramirez, this is King Fat Boy Papa Esco. Bye-bye.
This is the Grand Wizard, Gabriel Ramirez. Thank you so much.
You son of a bitch. We're out. And that right there, mi gente, is all she wrote. Huge shout out and mad respect to Misterioso for pulling up to the podcast for his 2-part sit down. We had a lot of ground to cover, and I had a great time doing it, and I hope you did too. We're going to get Misterioso back on in a little while, but until then, brother, you stay safe and you stay out of trouble. Tune in next week where we're going to sit down with owner and operator of lucha-mask.com, Mr. Gabe Ramirez. That's right, the co-host is going to sit on the other end of the table and we're going to talk about lucha-mask.com. Here it is, man. This guy's going on all kinds of podcasts talking about lucha-mask.com, and we're going to hit the pause button on it because he's going to come on straight out the bodega and give us his side of the story, and we're going to talk about the face covers that are sweeping the nation. I mean, come on, man. This guy, he's got face covers on social media being worn by celebrities, face covers on music videos, face covers on NXT and WWE television. I mean, we got to see where this is going. We got to see how far this is going to go. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Tune in next week. Well, thank you for listening. And I know you were listening from somewhere. So why don't you go on social media and let us know what podcast platform you're using to listen to every episode of Straight Out of the Bodega. Is it iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify? Where is it? Let us know. Also, let us know how we doing, man. Talk to us. We're going to talk back. Let us know what you like about us. Let us know what you don't like about us. Who you want to see on future episodes. Just talk to us, man. Let's get a conversation going. But check us out on social media. And speaking of the social media, give us a follow, man. Straight Out of the Bodega on Instagram. Straight Out of the Bodega on Facebook. STRAOUTDABODEGA. Straight Out the Bodega on Twitter. Also give me a follow. Papo Esco on Facebook. Papo Esco on Instagram. Papo_Esco on Twitter. Give me a follow, man. You might like what you find. Be my friend. I need some, apparently. People told me that. I don't like people, though. I don't know, whatever. I'm rambling. On behalf of the podcast, man, I am your master of ceremonies, the King Fat Boy Papa Esco. We'll see you next time. We are out.
Ever had a dream of becoming a pro wrestler? Or maybe your dream is becoming a pro wrestling manager, referee, ring announcer, or commentator. If you're ready to turn your dream into reality, then Pro Wrestling Revolution Training Academy is for you. Northern California's premier pro wrestling training academy. Pro Wrestling Revolution Training Academy is located in San Jose, California, and with over 24 years of experience, we specialize in all areas, from lucha libre, American style, ring psychology, industry etiquette, and much more. You'll be welcomed into a family environment where our head trainer, Hall of Famer, the Brown Bomber, Robert Thompson, and our training staff will start you on your journey and fully prepare you to get in the ring and make your dream a reality. Past trainees include AEW's Jungle Boy, UFC World Champion and WWE star Cain Velasquez, the King Fat Boy Papo Esco, and many more. Be the next star. Contact Pro Wrestling Revolution Academy now. Call 408-728-8318. Visit our Facebook page or go to prowrestling-revolution.com/training and make your dream a reality.